Hello, I'm Heroclix USA, and today we're going to talk about Gencon. So I'm just going to talk about Gencon real quick and everything that I did there. On Thursday, I ended up doing a couple battle royales, and I was able to do 2. I signed up for 3, but unfortunately, I had to miss my first one because I was waiting in line for the ticket, and I waited about 1 hour and 40 minutes or so to get my will call pass to get in line. So next year, if you go to Gencon, make sure you get there bright and early so you get your stuff. So I was able to do that, and then on Sunday, I took the day to just roam the streets of the Gencon, basically, and I got to see some of the cool games and cool things that they have there. Went to the WizKids thing, picked up these 2 things, which I'm very excited about. They were all sold out of the other ones, unfortunately, but I'm happy enough to get these. I'm excited to take pictures of a couple of these. I think some of these look really cool. This one, especially with the whip, looks really awesome. So I'm really excited to use those in my photography and from a collector standpoint, just to have them. So I was glad that I was able to purchase these on the at Gencon rather than buying them from the secondhand market. Because some of these figures are going for an absurd amount. For instance, Venom God Symbiote, when it first came out on Thursday, was going for 400 actual USD. I can't get over that. I think that's hilarious. No one knows if it's actually competitively viable yet or not, and no one knows if it's going to actually be good. I think people speculate it's going to be pretty good, 10-pole, but I don't know if you're going to be able to build a whole team around him at his full points. Just wait. It's already came down drastically since it came out, and if you've already paid over $300 for it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm seeing in the Facebook Marketplace about $180 to $200 or so. But it was really cool to see all the other miniatures there. My friends are Warhammer fans, so they were able to look at all the different Warhammers and miniatures that they can paint. They're really big into painting miniatures, so it was really cool to see that and see all those things. And yeah, so that was kind of our Gen Con. But let's talk about Heroclix. That's what you came here for. So let's talk about that. First off, just want to say a huge congratulations to all the winners. I know there's a couple of them. I have a couple on the top of my head, but I'm just going to post them all right here. So yeah, so good luck, good job to you guys. I'm glad you guys won. But I do want to talk about some of the winning teams. Let's talk about meta, 300-point meta right now. Spider-Man Prime is a monster with the Necro Sword. It'll be interesting to see how he does once the Necro Sword leaves rotation, because it's more than likely going to leave rotation here at the end of Worlds. But I think that it's safe to say that Spider-Man Prime, if you're not familiar with what he does, he's a monster. I already said that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to see a lot of play. So just like looking at this and looking at Spider-Man Prime and seeing all the other characters, I truly think that moving forward after rotation and stuff like that, I think that we are going to see a lot more Spider-Man Prime. I think it's fair to say that, and I think the reason why I say that is because I think the meta right now is free attacks. The more attacks per action, if you can do more attacks than you have an action total, I think that's where people are going towards. And I know that's a big discovery. Spider-Man Prime is able to make almost 3 attacks, possibly in 1 turn, as well as Carnage Silver Surfers in 1 turn can make 2 attacks. World's Finest can possibly do that as well. And I think that that's why these characters are so predominant in the meta right now. And I know power racers are a really big thing, like Scarlet Witch and the Necro Sword, but I think that honestly, having the free attacks, the reason why those work so well is because you're able to make 2 to 3 attacks in 1 action from a character. And I think that is why the meta is so big right now. I think free attacks are kind of the thing right now. So I think Spider-Man Prime is here to stay. I think Carnage Silver Surfer is here to stay. I think we're going to see more World's Finest. And obviously, the MOE chases, the Masters of Evils, they are huge right now because they're all just amazing support pieces right now. And I think King Killmonger is the best defensive option in the game right now. Being able to roll out of just any attack, protected pulse wave if they're equipped is a crazy ability, and that's including adjacent characters as well. I really think that this character is good on its own. You could probably run it solo and it would still do amazing, because the willpower, and he's a decent attacker, decent secondary, third attacker, but really that defensive shell option is really good. So I think that Masters of Evil are obviously still really good, and Mephisto is crazy good for 30 points. Being able to heal when people switch out and take an action token off is crazy. So I think that Masters of Evil are still really good. So let's talk about the other thing people are talking about, and that's mission points. Mission point teams are starting to find their niche, starting to find what they do well. And I think that Indigo 1, Watcher, and Darkseid are all great options. And usually when you're running Darkseid, you're usually running Frogman as well, because he gives you knockback and gives you mission points for knocking people back as well. And I think that's crazy good. And obviously the Indigo 1 with the starter Watcher that can turn to any dial, and then you can just heal it up with Indigo 1. And Indigo 1 is doing a minimum of 2 clicks per heal because of the ring that she has. It gives her +1 to the result. And also she can get up to, I think, 4, which is also really good. So being able to get all those points is really good, and you just accumulate so much. And you have Peacemaker that comes in. And then on top of that, he was running the Riddler, which was actually a really cool option in my opinion, being able to perplex people, give them a token, and then if they get used perplex on again, you get to roll a dice, and I think anything but a 1, you get a mission point. So yeah, mission points are finally finding their niche right now, and I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for them to see play. I think it's a really good option if you want to play a game that you don't attack people. I think that mission points is finding its footing now, and I think it's getting closer and closer to being something that's really, really dangerous. So keep an eye out on mission point teams. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything about Gen Con for Meta. So let's jump into Pulp real quick. So we're seeing a lot in Pulp of Mr. Sinister and the rare Scarlet Witch die replacement, basically. With Moira McTaggart, I mean, she's crazy good, and you really need to get rid of her as soon as possible. Her and Mr. Sinister and Scarlet Witch, obviously. But we're starting to see, like, not really many stop-click characters. Like, we're not seeing as much Blue Marvel. We're not seeing a lot of Deathstroke. I think that's kind of a testament to how, like, far the meta has swung, because Carmira, I think, I don't know how to actually pronounce there, but she's just like an anti-stop-click kind of character. So I think that what's going to happen is that character is, you know, because it exists, we're going to see less and less of Deathstrokes. We're going to see less and less of stop-click characters like Blue Marvel that have like crazy good stuff for the amount of points they do. And also Red Widow. Like, if you look, like, Red Widow is great. 45 points, charge flurry, close combat expert. Like, what? Super good character in Pulp. I think we're going to see a lot more of her going forward in the Pulp game. There was a couple good stuff in here. Obviously, like, the Watcher is crazy good. Doctor Strange is amazing. The uncommon from Avengers Forever, the one that generates Wongs and astral projections of himself that give enhancement. Yeah, they're all crazy good, and I cannot wait to see more how Pulp evolves, especially moving forward with the new Notorious set, because there's a couple good figures in there. I'm really interested to see how they do in Pulp. But yeah, Pulp so far looking pretty healthy. It looks really fun to play. I cannot wait to play it in my locals. But I want to know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts about Gen Con? Were you there? And did I not say hi to you? I'm sorry. I was preoccupied. I was so tired because I made the trip in one day, 2 days. And I will not be making that mistake again next time. So, but let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, what your thoughts are and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you next time when we talk about all things Heroclix.